All the big news today has centred around a very clearly emotional Lionel Messi and the applause that started the press conference in which he announced that he would definitely be leaving Barcelona moved quite a few people, not just Lionel Messi, to tears. I don't think anyone could have failed to be moved by that. He was distraught. He had a lot to say. My family and I were convinced that we were going to stay here at home. That's what we all wanted more than anything. We made this our home and we thought we would be staying in Barcelona. We're all pretty aware now of the reasons why he isn't staying in Barcelona, but let's check in with Colin Millar, Spanish football journalist who joins us now. Hi, Colin.
Good afternoon, Sam. Thanks for having me on.
Hello, Colin.
Thank you very much for coming on the programme. Just tell us a little bit about what he said, put into context what he said and what it means and what it has been, what the reaction has been in Spain to what Lionel Messi said at his press conference earlier today.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you alluded to there, I mean, it was a very emotional press conference. Obviously, Messi broke down in tears pretty much straight away. And I think it wasn't just the emotion, but the words were significant as well. He said that, like, he did everything that he could to stay at the club. He agreed a 50% wage cut, but that wasn't enough. And I think that the words that Messi used today gave us quite a good indication that he expected to be staying at Barcelona this season up until the last few days. And something at the club, from the club's position, had changed. And this is obviously a long-running thing where we know that Barcelona are in deep financial crisis, but the club president, Juan Laporta, this week sort of explained a bit more about those figures and just how bad their position was. They ran up losses last year of almost 500 million euros. And their wage budget, which is going to be imposed by La Liga for this season, limits them to just under 200 million euros. So we're talking about Barcelona having a wage budget which is comparable to maybe a mid-table Premier League club. So that shows you how much they need to shift off the wage bill. They weren't able to register Messi as a player for the upcoming season. They haven't been able to register any of their 4 new signings, including Sergio Aguero, of course. So they need to make these huge cutbacks. And what they need to do is they needed to get to about 70% of their wages to be going from their revenue. But at the moment, before Messi left, it was 110%. And with Messi leaving, it's still 95%. So you can see that no matter what decision Messi had taken or what approach the club had made with him, they just simply couldn't afford to keep him on their books. And they still need to get rid of a lot of their big earners before the season starts so that they can register their new signings. So yeah, I mean, hugely emotional. The player didn't want this. The club obviously didn't want it, but they had to do it. And it's just not a very nice way for all of this to end for either him or the club.
Some might say that this was all pretty predictable, though, bearing in mind that when the new president, who was the old president but came back again after a period of instability, took over the club, he was pretty quickly brought up to speed with the fact that the financial situation was as it was. They then went on to offer Messi a new contract. Was there any sense from Lionel Messi that he was disappointed that the club had reneged on that deal?
Yeah, I think so. I think absolutely. I think Messi, as I said, was under the impression that the club were in a position to accommodate him with a reduced wage packet. And the club have been making wage cuts throughout the past year in order to try to streamline their resources to keep Messi on board. I mean, this isn't just the world's best player, but this is an icon for the club. I mean, a lot of people could even make an argument that in terms of status, Lionel Messi is almost as big as Barcelona itself, such as the impact he has made in the past 10 or 15 years. And it's the money that he brings in through commercial, through marketing. I mean, those are such a huge aspect. And that's why the club were prepared to do anything within their power to keep him, but they just couldn't do it. And I think that the words that Messi used today certainly gave the impression that up until this week, he was planning on playing with the club this season. And now he obviously has to move out of Barcelona. He obviously has his family there, his wife and his children, and he's going to have to change his life essentially to leave the club. And it's beyond his power and their power, and it's just as I said, it's not a very pleasant way for any of this to end.
Do you know, let's be honest, Barcelona have been overspending for years and years and years, and the reason it's come to fruition is because La Liga have said no, we're going to have a financial fair play and have basically a salary cap. So the club has not been run brilliantly financially. I looked at their statement. Their wage bill was 110% of their turnover. No business other than football can survive like that. And even with Messi's wages not included, it's 95% their turnover. But they did have a way out, though, to be fair, didn't they? Because there was a private equity firm who said they wanted to invest in La Liga. It was CVC, and they were going to invest 2.7 billion, but they wanted 10% of the revenue and 10% of the TV rights, and it was for
how long? It was for a long time, which was the problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, but even then, it was Barcelona and Real Madrid, because they get the high percentage of the TV rights. They said, no, we're not interested in this deal. So there was a little way out.
There was also something else, was there not, Colin, about the fact that they wanted that investment was over a certain number of years, and because they're still wedded to the project of the Super League, that would restrict them in pursuing that avenue. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what a lot of this boils down to. That the club had a huge decision to make this week, whereby, as you outlined there, CVC investment. We're like, right, we're going to give you the investment straight up, so you can clear your immediate financial problems. You can register Messi for this season. You can register your new signings, but in return for that, you are committing your audio-visual rights, your TV deals, your commercial side of it. You're committing 10% of that to La Liga as a brand for the next 30 to 40 years. So this is going to be a long-term commitment for Barcelona and Real Madrid to stay with La Liga, and by doing so, that would completely kill off this Super League idea. And as we can see, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus are the three clubs that continue to release these joint statements saying that no, this idea isn't dead. We have these contracts in place. We have the commitment financially in place, and we're the saviors of football, essentially. And they're still parroting this idea. And as recently as Friday, the presidents of Real Madrid, Florentino Perez, Barcelona's Juan Laporta, and Agnelli of Juventus, they all met on Friday, and obviously that meeting hasn't been disclosed in terms of its content. But these are three clubs who continue to work behind the scenes to hatch a plan whereby they can create their own league, which would guarantee their own revenue streams. And all of these clubs believe that they have outgrown La Liga, that they've outgrown Serie A, they've outgrown all these other clubs who are holding them back from fulfilling their full potential, and that is the project they are still 100% committed to.
Colin,
and
where do you think
is that they have prioritised that?
Colin, where do you think this leaves La Liga? Because obviously losing Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, they're two iconic names, but obviously fair play is great, like the FIFA fair play thing they're going to do financially, but losing players like that, it can't be good for the league.
Yeah, and it continues this sort of drain of big names out. Obviously, Ronaldo, Messi, but Sergio Ramos this summer, even Zinedine Zidane leaving Real Madrid. I mean, this is a huge exodus of talent that is being realigned with these financial cutbacks. And La Liga has tried to get on board. La Liga has acknowledged that I think in previous regimes they made a mistake in prioritising this sort of Barcelona-Madrid rivalry, the Messi-Ronaldo rivalry, which wasn't sustainable. That was not sustainable in terms of what they could do, and they had to bring this sort of guaranteed joint project across the league to bring all these other clubs up to make sure that there was these regulations in place which made it a more competitive league, which made the TV deal more equitable across the clubs and made it a fairer deal essentially. But again, that's where the split has come with Barcelona and Madrid, and let's not forget that Florentino Perez at Real Madrid. He is the guy. The Super League is primarily his brainchild. This is what they wanted, and Spain and Spanish fan bases among Real Madrid and Barcelona fans still support the idea of a Super League. It's not. This isn't like England, whereby there was huge protests against the clubs from their own fans. In Spain, the situation was different. It was perceived differently, and that's a big challenge that the Liga now have, and that's why they brought this investment deal forward this week, because they wanted to nail down these clubs to a long-term commitment. But the other side of that is La Liga is a democracy. Barcelona and Madrid only have one vote each. The other 40 member clubs also have one vote each. So that investment is likely to be voted through regardless. So those clubs are going to be stuck in a situation that they don't want to be in. But it looks like a formality now.